Hello and welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. I think I've kind of figured out this family tree a bit now, because I don't think everyone is on it in the sense that, like, people who've married who or what have you. So, I think Odin's obviously the original, and I think he was married to this Ingeborg, and I think he's Edith's great grandfather, because I'm pretty sure Edie is her grandmother. So Edie is Odin's daughter, and she married Sven, I think. And they then had these children? No, I feel like they're the same. Okay, maybe I am still a bit confused. Because we know Dawn is Edith's mum. And we know Dawn is one of three. And we know that Sam is Dawn's father. So then that would make Sam... So maybe Edie is her great-grandmother. I'm still quite confused about it. But they all seem to be like in a same generation. So they're all one set of children. This is all one set of children. And this is all one set of children. So, yeah, I think I've got a rough idea, but I'm still getting to grips with things, because I feel like sometimes when, like, she said that Walter is an uncle, but if Walter was an uncle, then it would be Dawn's brother, but that's not the case. It might be a great uncle, but she's just saying uncle. I don't know. Let's carry on anyway. It's still very interesting. Like, we've only got a few people left to have a look at. So we left off, we were about to do Dawn, who is Edith's mum's brothers, so Gregory and Gus. So let's do Gregory first. Okay, so
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Oh god, am I gonna get... Am I gonna get copyrighted for this? Probably. Oh, I can control the frog. This is cool. I'm trying to pop the bubbles. It's actually quite hard to control. He's not gonna drown, is he? I'm totally gonna get copyrighted for this. I don't know if I'm meant to be doing anything specific. I'm just having fun at the moment. Oh, am I? I think I know what I'm meant to be doing. Oh, I thought I was meant to be turning on the tap. I feel like I'm the one who's personally killing all of these people, because I've been here for all of their demise. And I doubt he got washed down the plug hole, the drain. That was what I was trying to say. But yeah. Okay, so he died in the bath. As a very young. Oh, he was only 1. Okay. Yeah. Alright, what happened to Gus?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, I can control the kite. I didn't read that. Was I meant to read that? Aha.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Hold up.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met me, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, is he gonna get swept away with the kite?
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Is he gonna get like electrocuted maybe? I don't know, I'm not sure what it wants me to do now. Oh, over there, over there, over there. I see.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
I wish that what? I don't know how to trigger the next sequence! Yeah, there we go. Oh, whoops.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. until we found you.
So the tent blew away and took him out, I'm presuming.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay. I don't have that many people left to discover now. Oh no. I feel like she should be doing this.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
In her current pregnant state.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh, this is cute.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
So I'm guessing
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad,
Sanjay's her dad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
How did Sanjay die?
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
But they like... Yeah, they had like a little classroom and everything.
But it didn't last.
They all homeschooled.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh, that's so clever. I mean, they're architectural geniuses, whoever these Finches are, because they've made all this amazing stuff in their house.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oops. I do need to keep it held though. That's okay. Oh, is that all we get from Milton? No, because he's still missing, isn't he?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Right, so if he disappeared in 2003, he was 11 when he disappeared. So that doesn't seem particularly promising about the whole theory I had before, with him still being alive and just getting out. Because yeah, that's a bit young, isn't it?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
No, that was silly. I thought there might be something else around here, so I went the wrong way. Never mind. Okay. Who we discovering? I suppose Lewis is the one left, isn't he? Although we've still not fully understood the mother.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but
or the father.
I think
or
Lewis
Edie.
blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Okay, yeah, we're not going that way. Such a cool house, though.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
He smoked weeds, is basically what she's saying. He smoked weeds and it stinks.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Oh. Okay.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
I mean, if you were doing this all day...
In our sessions, I saw the same behaviour.
You'd go mad. Such a
His mind began to...
wander?
Wander.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's like a little mini... okay.
I asked him to describe it.
He's gonna chop his hand
He said
off,
he
isn't
started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
It's really difficult because I'm doing the fish with one hand and I'm moving the mini-map with the other hand.
He knew it was all in his head.
My brain can't... oh gosh, okay.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
I'm not very good at doing two things at the same time.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Yeah, but you have to remember this is a dangerous. You've got a very sharp
He told me
blade
he'd
there.
made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Come on. Oh god, come on. This is so... I'm so bad
He
at
built the city up
multitasking.
slowly, brick by brick.
But this is
Then
like
he made musicians.
delusions of grandeur, isn't it? Because he's like making himself a little king of the town, isn't he? And you can see
And songs for them to play.
it's taking up more and more of his mind. As in the little window, you can barely
He
see
talked
the
about
fish stuff
starting a
anymore.
band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery, but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Well, yeah.
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
Which he won.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Okay, I'm trying to steer a boat.
St. Louis.
Maybe I'm supposed to be letting the fish mount up, though,
He
because
started drifting away from our reality.
I think that's kind of the point, is that I'm supposed to be struggling to do both of them at the same time. Because that's what he would have been doing.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
handsome queen.
Handsome queen.
So I'm like controlling the story now.
The queen was on her own quest for...
sinister serpents. Oh no, I don't want no rainbows.
Sinister serpents.
I can't do both of these things at once.
He followed the sound of her...
silver harp.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, we can't see the
He
blade
knew the
anymore.
world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
I mean, I've got an imagination, but this is unhealthy.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yeah, this is getting dangerous.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Am I still Louis?
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
Is that Lewis? Did he, like, commit suicide or something?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
So who am I playing as now? He's not doing anything anymore.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Oh, he just...
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Like, if it weren't for the fact that it's telling such a sad story, this would be awesome.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
Yeah, but he's completely...
There was only one thing left to do.
Like, he's not paying attention to what he's doing at all now. It's just entirely... his imagination has taken over.
Bend down his head.
Oh no. He's gonna chop his head off. That's a guillotine if ever I saw one. Yeah.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So that's more or less everyone, apart from Dawn and Edie. And I feel like I'd like to know a bit more about her dad, potentially.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Huh. Well, yeah. More true. He kind of died, well, the once. Okay.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Oh.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Where did they go?
I wish we'd stayed.
But it's still weird being in a house that you can't go into half the
But
rooms
I understand
of,
why we left.
Is this her room now?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
No, this is a problem.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Yeah.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
should leave the episode here. I don't know how much longer's left. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do an outro with the assumption that there's enough left for one more episode, otherwise I'll just cut the outro out.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
So apparently there's a present for
When my mom
her
said the library,
in the
I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
I mean, I suppose if you had 3 children and 2 of them died, and you'd want to get away. I mean, I can't.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh, they could get to the house, the old house.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Well, it'll be a wreck. It's been underwater for
When
most
the
of
fog
time.
rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
Kind of dangerous. You
I
literally can't see a thing.
started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
As if the latch would still work. Like, it'd be rusted through, surely. I mean, the water would have destroyed
Things
the gate.
I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
It is Great-Grandma. It is Great-Grandma.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Oh. So she probably killed herself.
After that, we moved around a lot.
Or something happened. I mean, yeah. Because she didn't want to leave the house.
We both tried to make the best of it.
Honestly, this is so clever. Like, I can control this hand. This is such, like, amazing little... Because it is like an
few years
interactive
went by.
story more than a game. But the fact that you can do little things like this is so nice.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Who did she go to live with then? Did she go into, like, foster care?
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
Right, which is her being pregnant, yeah.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. Now I hope you'll never see it.
Well, something like this, you'd potentially just want to bury it all. I mean, you don't want to lie to your kids and keep secrets.
I just want to meet you.
But there's so much pain and death and
tell you all these stories myself.
Weird things, yeah.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone.
What happened to her?
I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
How did she die, though? Damn, the cycle continues. Did she die in childbirth, maybe? This is crazy. That was it's a very nice short little game, actually. It was amazing. It was the perfect length. They didn't need to flesh it out any more than that, although I would have liked to have known about everyone that was on that family tree, but I don't know if I just missed stuff. I don't think I did, because, I mean, I followed a very set... The game was very clear about where you needed to go and what to look at. I don't think I would have had the opportunity, really, to miss anything, but then, I don't know. I could be wrong. But yeah, that was amazing. The way that, you know, I mean, the house, amazing. I'd love a house like that, but the way that you could follow through all the stories going into all the different rooms and everything was incredible. And it's just an amazing story, but there's still quite a bit left untold, and I would kind of like to know a bit more about what happens, but I suppose that's kind of what they'll leave a few questions you can fill in a bit with your imagination and stuff like that. So yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Really glad that I played that. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to continue doing games on like the random wheel, I think, because I quite like doing that and not knowing what I'm going to play until the day. Please let me know if you have any suggestions. I can add them onto the wheel. And yeah, please like, please subscribe, please let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!